You're listening to episode 48 of Leaders on Purpose podcast.
Hi there. Welcome to Leaders on Purpose podcast. This is your host, Manal Bernoussi. I am a multi-passionate mom of twins and a corporate executive in Casablanca, Morocco, living and sharing my personal development journey. In this podcast, we're looking to develop the skills, habits, and mindset to reveal our full potential for a greater purpose. I'll be inviting inspiring people, beautiful souls, Moroccans, Canadians, Americans, Nigerians, and more, people from all backgrounds and different nationalities, to inspire us to live our true purpose and create great impact. So join me every other Sunday, and let's make this happen.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Leaders on Purpose podcast. This is your host, Manal Bernoussi. I am so glad to be back for a new solo episode. This feels really good and I've really missed this. Thank you guys so much for your feedback on the previous episodes. Almost 100,000 views on YouTube. It is starting to pick up there as well. It is insane. I love interacting with you on the comment section. I love reading your messages and feedbacks. And above everything else, I really love that the content is resonating with you, that it is useful to you, and I'm forever grateful for the opportunity to serve. So if you're not following us on YouTube, go check it out now. Search for Leaders on Purpose. Make sure you add in with Manal Bernoussi to land on the right page and hit subscribe. I know that many of you listen to podcasts while you're in the car or taking your daily walks, but it seems that you also like watching the video format. So we'll see how to bring more of those to you as well. So today's episode is a special one that I promised to share with you. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably know that I recently came back from West Palm Beach in Florida a couple of weeks ago. I was there to attend Date with Destiny. Just the name alone gives you an idea of how impactful it is. This is Tony Robbins' 6-day signature event. It is an immersion into your psyche, your identity, your beliefs, and it has you really reevaluating every single area of your life. It was a dream event for me to attend, to say the least. I took time to let everything sink in and some time to recover as well, because I've been really sick since I got back home. I found out there's actually a name for it. It's called the Tony flu, which I thought was really funny. And I realized that the first time I attended a Tony Robbins event, which was UPW, Unleash the Power Within, back in 2022, I got the Tony flu as well. Because when you spend 14 to 16 hours a day, I know it is insane, for several days in a room with 6,000 people, high-fiving them, hugging them, not getting much sleep or food, and inside a convention center that is kept really, really cold, well, there's no surprise to what happens next, right? Your immune system is like, nope, this is too crazy for me. You're on your own for this madness. I need a break. I'm out. But it's okay. It was totally worth it. I'll do it again in a heartbeat. Just make sure to pack some vitamins in your bag when it's your turn to go. So, back to Date with Destiny. I kept all the stories for you in the highlights section of Instagram. You can go to my Instagram page at Manal Bernoussi, all attached, and get a feel for what it looked like. It is an absolutely all-in 6-day insane event. From mornings to like early mornings. On average, we were leaving at 2:30 a.m. in the morning. We were there around 10:30 until really, really late at night. As long as Tony felt he was giving value, he would keep on going. So it was really intense, and not just intense mentally and emotionally, but also intense physically. You know, Tony always has you in peak states. Each morning started with the music and the lights and the dancers. And so there was a lot of dancing, a lot of jumping, using your voice, using your body. It's all designed with purpose, because Understanding things intellectually is one thing, but integrating them in your body and anchoring them with emotion is the ultimate mastery. Information without emotion is barely retained. So every once in a while during the day, you put down your books and your pen and you get moving again. So from the outside, I'm really sure it looked like a rock concert most of the time. But there's a lot of content that is given to you by the very, very best in their field. It gets you to answer the real questions and figure out if you're aligned with what your mission is and what your values are, what you really want to do with your life, and how much time you're actually spending to make that happen. These are very important questions, and when you're cruising through life in autopilot mode, well, we do not really get to reflect on this, do we? Some of you asked me about the difference between Date with Destiny and Unleash the Power Within. Well, UPW is usually the event that most people know about. There are several UPWs during the year. Date with Destiny is organized only once a year. There is actually a Netflix documentary about it called I Am Not Your Guru that will give you a glimpse with real footage from the event. Date with Destiny is also the longest Tony Robbins event, the most intense, and it really has you dig much deeper than UPW, which is a weekend event about 3 days long and already incredible in its own right. I registered for Date with Destiny over a year ago and had to pay for it upfront. To be honest, it is quite the investment, but it's truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Spots sell out quickly since it only happens once a year, and you also get to see Tony Robbins much closer than you do at UPW. That said, I am grabbing my notebook now because I want to share some of my key takeaways with you. Of course, I won't be sharing everything. It was 6 full days, and I also want you to have the chance to experience it for yourself. So the first thing above all is that the whole time you are surrounded by like-minded people and people who have your level of energy and drive and dreams times 10 or 20. There's no one in there who would listen to what you have to say and go, nah, this is crazy. Like, you really can't play small in there. You have to step up your game and play full out. You know the saying that says that you are the sum or the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with? I wholeheartedly believe that. I believe there are environments that bring the best out of you and environments and people that don't. The sooner you identify which is which, the better it is. So I make sure I schedule in time at least once a year, if not more, to immerse myself in environments that bring the best out of me. I will also tell you that the larger the group you're involved with, the more you'll feel the impact of their collective energy. And that is exactly what happened in there. The energy in the room is out of this world, and you can just get caught up in the whole vibe really quickly. The second thing I want to share is I really got to reconnect and see how people are really inherently good. And I don't mean this in a cheesy way. I'll explain what I mean in just a second. During this event, there were around 6,000 people in person and probably over 3,000 online from 81 countries. Different backgrounds, different political beliefs, different religions. So several people per day would stand up and share either a significant event in their life that maybe was a game changer for them, or something that happened in their past that they have assigned a special meaning to, or their internal software blueprint, meaning the way that they operated was no longer serving them. And so Tony Robbins would do these live interventions. He speaks with them asks them questions, breaks down why they think what they think, the meaning that they assign to what happened to them, and so on. And I remember one evening specifically, I think it was day 3, which is named Suicide Night. Pretty intense. Tony shared that at every event, there are typically 7 to 8 people who are seriously considering taking their own lives. It's a heavy moment. So Tony takes time with them, sometimes 30 to 45 minutes, even more, talking to them while everyone else is listening. He asks questions to understand their world, their inner narrative, and what's going on in their minds. And in these moments, I will tell you a few things. 1, no one is alone. There is no story or anything you're experiencing that someone, if not hundreds or thousands of people, have been exactly where you are, or maybe are there right now. There might be nuances to the story, but when you think that you're alone, the reality is that you're not. The painful things in our life are a call to a new adventure in the hero's journey, a call to turn our mess into our message. Now, 5 minutes before that person stood up, no one had any idea who that person was. You don't know their story, you don't know their background, you have no idea who they are, from where they come from. Most likely when we leave this event, no one would ever cross that person's path again. Yet, as this person is talking, the reaction of the room is like they're listening to their very best friend tell a gut-wrenching story. And why is that? Because the reality is that the basis of humanity really is good. People are naturally compassionate and caring, but we begin to lose touch with that when life gets hurried, busy, and chaotic. In those moments, we stray away from our true nature, from who we are as human beings. And for 6 full days, you get to let all of that go. You're not dealing with the kids, you're not dealing with the job, you're not dealing with your business, you're not in your usual environment. You are fully present in that room, fully engaged, and this is when you get to experience 6,000 people show up, not just as the best version of who they are, just as who they are, which is kindness, compassion, love. That is our true nature. And I'll tell you something. There were a lot of tears shed in that room. Like really, it is authentic, it is raw emotion that comes from within, and you feel deeply for your brothers and sisters. There were moments of meditations, visualizations, where we felt the beauty of extending an apology to all people who never received an apology and have been hurt by the course of life. We did this powerful practice called Opono. We extended love, forgiveness, and kindness to those suffering, and it is impossible to remain unmoved. And yet, there's something deeper, a truth that is undeniable. At some point, a shift happens, and humanity becomes capable of the worst. And it is fascinating, really, to feel such profound human connection, to know that we are all the same, and yet to reflect on the darker side of humanity that unfolds on a global scale. There is day and there is night. There is light and there is darkness, good and bad. This duality is a fundamental part of our human experience. It is in this balance that we find our growth, our challenges, and our understanding of the world. Embracing this duality allows us to navigate life with more awareness, accepting that each side plays a role in defining who we are, and remembering that no season ever lasts. And this journey of remembering who we truly are, meeting our authentic selves, and returning to our core as creatures of God is one of the most sacred and most important journeys of all. When we remember that we are all sharing this human experience, it becomes clear that it's our responsibility to make it better not only for ourselves, but for others and for generations to come. It all begins with us. All right, something else I'm taking away with me is that Tony Robbins is a masterful storyteller. He is talented, he is gifted, and he hooks you up with every word he says. He always has some funny story that gets his message across in the most impactful way, and I'm truly captivated by this skill. The way he understands someone's world, helps them get unstuck, and enables them to see their situation from a different perspective is incredibly inspiring. I believe this is a skill we can all benefit from honing in our leadership journeys. So here's a note to myself that I'm sharing with you as well. Look for the learning and the teachable moments in every situation of daily life. They can have a massive, massive impact on others. All right, number 4, clarity is power. We did this workshop around setting goals and defining what we really want for the next 6 months, next 2 years, and 5 years. And this is so important. And this is the right time to sit and reflect on that. See, people get to where they want to go because they know where they want to go. Most people don't know where they want to go. A lot of us are being driven by what we think we should do, what other people say we should do, what we have carried in our mind for a long time we should do. But the most important question you could ever ask yourself is, what do I really want? And once you can establish for yourself what the answer to that is, and have everything you do, every choice you make, move you in the direction of what you say your vision is, when you do that, the forces of life rise up to meet you. Some other aspects that I found really helpful, I'll touch on them really quickly. One is discovering your primary question. And is it serving you? When you ask yourself good questions, you come up with good answers that are helpful. If you're asking yourself shitty questions, then you'll come up with shitty answers. So what is your primary focus these days? If there was a primary question that guides your entire life, that drives the focus of your life, what would it be? Is there a question that maybe you'd rather not admit you have? And what are the downsides of that question? Examples of old primary questions would be something like, how am I going to do it all? That's one question I've used to have a lot. A better question to ask oneself is, how can I step into my full power and enjoy this process even more, knowing that I'm divinely guided? One feels heavy, the other feels empowering. Or many can relate to this old question as well. Am I good enough? A better question would be, how can I appreciate even more the amazing person that I already am? See, if you ask yourself questions like, why am I fat? Your mind will come up with negative answers like, because you're a loser, you can't keep your hands off food. A better question would be, how can I honor my body even more and treat it like the divine gift it truly is? Ask better questions, you'll get better answers. Another fascinating insight we explored, and this one is covered at UPW as well, is understanding your top 2 primary needs. So Tony Robbins explains the 6 human needs as the core motivations driving all human behavior. These needs shape how we think, how we feel and act, and understanding them is key to personal growth, fulfillment, and meaningful relationships, not just with ourselves, but with others too. So here's a quick breakdown. Number one, the need for certainty. This is the need for safety, comfort, and predictability. We crave certainty to avoid pain and create a sense of stability and control in our lives. Now, there's also the need for uncertainty and variety. This is the need for excitement, newness, and change. While we seek stability, we also thrive on surprises and challenges and adventure to keep life interesting. There's the need for significance. This is the need to feel valued, unique, and important. Deep down, we all want to know our life matters and that we're recognized for who we are and what we contribute. Then there's the need for connection or love. This is the need for relationships, for belonging, for intimacy. Whether it's family, friends, or romantic connections, we are wired to seek love and emotional bond to feel fulfilled. And then there are the top two needs, which are growth. That's the need to improve, to learn and evolve. Growth fuels our sense of purpose as we strive to become better versions of ourselves in every area of our life. And there's contribution. This is the need to give back and make a difference. When we contribute to something bigger than ourselves, we find meaning and leave a legacy that extends beyond our personal existence. And what makes this concept so powerful is that everyone prioritizes these needs differently. We all have these needs at different levels. The top two needs you focus on influence your choices, your behaviors, and experiences. And once you understand your own and others' needs, it often opens the door to deeper self-awareness, connection, and purpose. All right, one last thing I want to share with you is I realized even more that no matter what you do, you'll always gonna find a small percentage of people that are going to find what's wrong with something versus finding what's good. Like in this specific case, some of us were focusing on this unique experience, the beautiful energy, the people we've met, the lives that were saved. Because literally, there were some people there who were considering taking away their life, and Tony shifted their perspective. And some of us were focusing on the fact that the room was too cold, that they spent some time upselling us to new programs earlier that day, or that, there was almost no lunch or dinner breaks. People are going to complain whether you like it or not. You cannot please everybody. Once you get that, you get the permission to become better and greater by focusing on what really matters. Because being a people pleaser is surely a way to fail. If you know that you have the right intentions, if you know that you're putting yourself out there because you want to serve, you want to help people, because it takes guts to put yourself on the line. If you're doing that from your heart, then the right people will notice. It is going to come through to the right people. So understand that you cannot please everybody. There will always be people that are going to find what's wrong with something, that will question this thing or that thing, and that is perfectly fine. The question is, will you keep going? Will you keep honoring that intention of yours that is to keep pouring into people's lives and focus on the 99% that appreciate what you do, or will you focus on the 1% that are going to come at it from a negative angle? So what I'm hoping you take away from this, and what I'm hoping you do, as I did myself, is monitor your thoughts and ask yourself, what do I tend to focus on? Is my mind trying to find the good in something, the right in something, the beauty in a problem? Or are you wired to naturally complain and see the negative in a situation? What do you focus on? Ask yourself that, my friends. I am really grateful for this journey we're on together. I see ourselves as brothers and sisters on the path. We are walking side by side. Life is a continuous learning journey filled with moments that challenge us to our core and others that illuminate the beauty of existence. Each experience shapes us into who we are meant to become. Remember that every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your purpose. Life is too short, my friends, and it's never guaranteed. This truth hit me again this week with the passing of a young lady, a brilliant force who committed her life to empowering the youth. May her soul rest in peace. Don't sweat the small stuff. Let go of pain, let go of suffering and resentment. Focus on the good, smile more, and don't forget to laugh. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me and for listening to this episode. I really want to thank each and every one of you for spending so many hours with me in 2024. This year has been the most challenging for me personally and the most rewarding as well. I cannot wait to connect with you again in 2025 and bring you even more content on Leaders on Purpose podcast. I wish you all a wonderful year and a great time with your loved ones. I appreciate you all so much. Happy New Year, everyone.
That is it. Thank you so much for spending your most precious asset with me, which is your time. I am so grateful. If you like what you hear, please take a quick second to hit subscribe, write a review, and share with a friend. Spread the love. If you think it's something they could benefit from, that will make a huge difference to keep this podcast going. I make it my mission to bring you as much valuable content as possible and absolutely incredible guests. I am back every other Sunday. Thank you so much again for listening, and I hope you have an amazing day.